So it is my pleasure to have an opportunity to have a presentation. This presentation is held in 28th of March 2025 at the Institute of Ethnology Academia Sinica in Taiwan. And the title is the Nationalism on Borderline, Shan Insurgency in Myanmar and the Migration to Thailand. My name is Okano Hideyuki, or you can say my family name is Okano, and my own name is Hideyuki, but call me Oka. And I'm an associate professor in the Kinda University, which is located in Japan. As you can see, in this title page, I stamped the copy. This is because this is the duplication of the presentation held in that date and that price. So the actual information is as follows. Oh, sorry. Actual information is as follows. This is a poster of this presentation, which is held in the 28th of March 2025. And this version, which I speak now is the duplication of the seminar. This seminar is not held in online, so I want to make an opportunity to release this recording for the purpose of the access to the public. So first, please look at the picture. This picture is taken in the Thailand-Myanmar border area. And in this picture, you can see combatants wearing a uniform. They are combatants of an armed group of Shan people which tries to achieve independence from Burma. So this group set up their base in borderland and fought against the central government of Burma. As you can see the map in the left, in the right side, there is a star, and which is the name is Piang Luang. So this picture is taken in the town of the Piang Luang. So today's talk is about on political movement of Shan people and their migration from Burma to Thailand. So there's a two-topic. The armed conflict, in which the Shan is involved, and the second topic is the migration, which Shan people migrate from Burma to Thailand. So today's topic is how the two topics interrelated. So, but I have to talk about the name of the country in Burma and Myanmar. This country achieved independence in 1948. At that time, the name of the country is Burma. But they changed their English name to Myanmar in 1989. Since then, they call their country name Myanmar. So some people have a political connotation using the term of Myanmar and Burma, but I'm taking a distance from that side. So I name Myanmar and the name Burma, the name of the country, interchangeably along with what year I am talking to. So then the next slide. So what I am Hideyuki Okano in the Kinda University, and my research topic is armed conflict and borderland. And especially I'm focused on the Thai and the Myanmar border. So my main target of research is ethnic Shan, which reside in border zones in Myanmar, Thailand, China, that I will explain later in detail. And in this presentation, I examine transnational lives of Shan people with turbulent political situation between mid-20th century to 2010s. So this topic does not including political turmoil after the 2021 coup. So please note that this topic does not deal with the current situation. So today's presentation especially argues as follows. Shan ethnic nationalism or political movement had contacted in intangible space between the two nation buildings or those of Thailand and Myanmar. So the content is as follows. Please remember that there's a 5-step and a conclusion. So then first, I will look at the decolonization and nationalism in the mid-20th century. It means that I want to see the broader perspectives, how the today's talk is related to the trend of the world. So even though my talk is on Burma and Thailand, I will see very wider views in the worldwide level first. So after the World War II, the world experienced decolonization. Many countries in Asia and Africa achieved independence from European countries. So first, look at Africa. I will read Southeast Asia first. And so I will want to look at Africa first because it is a good comparison. So Africa in general, African countries do not have an ethnic majority due to their ethnic diversity. So the normally or typically in African countries, there's a various ethnic groups, and then each group dominated a few percent or 10% are around like that. So because of that, they cannot have their own languages or their own form of the society. So they build their countries by using European languages such as English or French. So some researchers call African decolonization and nationalism without a nation, which means that there's no endeavor to establish one sense of the identity, but there is, how can I say, there is an endeavor that people try to achieve the independence from European countries, but then do not have an endeavor to making how can I say, imagine the community in what Benedict Anderson said. But the Southeast Asia is different because in the South Asian countries, there is a dominant ethnic group or majority exists there. So Asian countries in general have ethnic majorities. They use its cultures and its language in their nation buildings. If you look at Vietnam, in Vietnam, the Vietnam people is a majority, and their language, their society, their culture is based on the Vietnamese one, Cambodia is also the same. There is a Khmer people, and the Cambodian national culture or national society or national language is based on the Khmer. And Indonesia and Malaysia, it's a little bit different. They use Malayu language, which is a common language for the sea trade. They use Malayu as a base for their language, national language, and they establish their, how to say, common identity. Even, for example, in the Indonesia, even though there's a ethnic diverse areas, they establish own one sense. They establish a sense of oneness by using the Malayu language. Thus, if you look at Southeast Asia's nation building in South Asian countries, ethnic groups had to integrate it into the society of ethnic majority. However, in the process of decolonization, plural idea of nationalism exists even in one country, which means that, so if you look at current period, how can I say, if you look at the past from the current situation, it means that minority is integrated to the majority. But if you look at what actually happened at the time of decolonization or what at the time of the independence, various ideas of the nationalism or idea about what kind of the country they want to establish. There's a lot of ideas or such ideas. So they are struggling actually. So in the general sense, in the world, in the process of decolonization, various ideas on how to build a new nation compete in your prospective countries, like in the British Empire, British India. There's in the country, India and Pakistan is different countries. But first, Mahatma Gandhi wanted to make India a multi-religious country, but Muslims were to be a minority group. So the Muslim leaders try to separate from the India and establish the Muslim countries. So they have an idea of how to build a new nation is compete to each other. The Singapore is the same. Singapore, Malaysia is the same. Singapore separated from Malaysia due to ethnic tension arising from ethnic discriminatory policies preferring Malay people. Malay people. So the Singaporeans, who were mostly the Chinese, Chinese the majority, they don't like a policy for preferring the Malay people. So they separated from them. Malaysia. Thus, idea of the how to build a country, what type of the country they want to build, is compete to each other at the time of the decolonization and independence. So the Burma or Myanmar is not exceptional. Burma is a multi-ethnic country in which ethnic Burma dominate 70% of the population, while various ethnic groups reside. So in the Burma or Myanmar, the majority is ethnic Burma. And then at the same time, 30% is various ethnic groups. Also rated in the official statement of the Burmese government, Myanmar government, they said 135 ethnic groups exist. But it's something like a political statement. So please remember that a lot of the ethnic groups exist because it's difficult to count. So like in the Shan case, and among the Shan, there's several subgroups exist. So it is difficult to differentiate. So please remember that. In Burma, dominant group is the Burma, which dominate 70% of the population. And then also there's other ethnic groups, many ethnic groups as well. So in this country, decolonization from British Empire was achieved by Burma nationalists. It means that the new government was dominated by ethnic Burma. They built their nation based on the culture and the language of ethnic Burma. So some ethnic group in Burma felt fear against the nation building based on the Burma culture, Burma language. So they built their own sense of nationalism, which you can call ethnic nationalism. Thus, in Burma, multiple ethnic nationalisms around after the World War II. So some of such ethnic movement escalated to armed conflict against the central government. As a result, dozens of ethnic armed groups have been active in the country. So this situation continues up to today. Today, there's armed conflict between the military government and the Burma people who want to who want to back the democracy. It's on one hand, at the same time, there's an ethnic armed group exists, and they also fight against the central government. So I summarize the characteristics of armed conflict, ethnic armed conflict in Burma, which is last for 70 years. This began just after the independence and still continue to today. So this armed conflict can have a characteristic as mentioned in this slide. There's a 5 point. First is that ethnic armed groups have been active mainly in their own ethnic areas. Please look at the slide here. The left side is a map which simply shows the distribution of ethnic groups. This is too simplified, but you can find that how it is. If you can see that the white place is in the center of the country. As you can see in the slide, the white place is a Burma. And this is what I call Burma in this presentation. So you can see that the majority of the people is residing in the central part of the Burma, but in the edge of the country, which shares a border with various countries, ethnic minority residing. And if you look at the right map, the right side, there is it shows the presence of armed group. This is the data as of 2016. This is not the one after the coup. So please remember that this map is different from the current situation, but it shows the existence of armed group. And if you compare with the two maps, you can find that the place where the Burma people reside is no presence of the armed group. But on the other hand, where the ethnic group exists, there's an activity of the ethnic armed groups. Thus, back to the slide. So ethnic armed group has been active in their own ethnic areas. This is the first one. And the second one is that ethnic armed group have fought against the central government. So the armed group does not fight each other basically. There's an exception, but basic idea is that the ethnic group is fighting against the central government, not against the Burmese people, but the central government. So the structure of the armed conflict is like this. So there is a central government, and the central government faced with various ethnic armed groups, and some are active along the borderline, some is not, but at least Burmese government faced with a number of ethnic armed groups who are against the central government. This is the structure of ethnic armed conflict in Burma or Myanmar. The third one, ethnic armed group established autonomous government for representing their own ethnic groups. It means that they claim the independence or they claim the autonomy. So they have to show that they are appropriate for claiming autonomy or independence. So they establish a self-government, their own government. So they provide public services, including a school or the hospitals, and they have a form like government, not purely the armed group, but they form the government-like organization. This is the third one. And fourth, the countless armed group exist if including smaller ones, like a group of tens of tens. Major armed group alone counts around 20, which have more than 1,000 of the combatants. But if you look at the smaller ones, there's it is difficult to count. Like militias in the towns or villages or mafia-like existence, they are also considered to be an armed group. And bigger ones also exist. So this is a gradation. So it is very difficult to differentiate which is the, how can I say, armed group and which is a militia, which is a mafia. So if you look at the situation of the armed conflict, it is difficult to count the number of the armed group. But anyway, the bigger ones who have thousands of the combatants have are likely to be political, trying to be autonomous government and try to be independent or try to have an autonomous region. This is a characteristic of the this conflict, this armed conflict. And the last one, the ethnic armed groups split and merged again and again due to internal strife. It is often the case that even in one ethnic group, like several armed groups exist. So please remember that not even in one ethnic group, several armed groups exist. Like there's a Shan ethnic group is there, Shan ethnic people is there, but within the Shan ethnic groups, there's a several armed group are active. This is quite a normal situation. So this is the characteristic of the conflict in Burma or Myanmar. So the summary of this section. So in the conflict of Myanmar, dozens of ethnic armed groups have fought against the Burma-dominated central government. They often have a form of central government as they aim at being a government of their own ethnic group. So this is the situation of the conflict in Burma. So then I will look at the Shan people. I will go deep into in detail. So who are Shans? So Shan people is an ethnic minority in Myanmar or Burma, which occupied about 10% of the population. They said their self-proclaimed name is Thai. The origin is the same with Thai people in Thailand. So Thai and Thai. So so as I mentioned, Myanmar is a multi-ethnic society, as you can see on the map. And the Shan or Thai is the largest ethnic group which concentrate on Shan state. So the population as a second, the Burma is 70% and Shan is 10%. And the Shan state is located around the triangle area, like that one. Shan state is like that one, and which shares a border with Thailand, Laos, and China. And their language, the Shan people's language, is close to that of Thai people in Thailand. So even though Shan or Thai is an ethnic minority in the country, they are majority in Shan state. So in the triangular region, the people are concentrated, which occupy the 66% of the population of Shan state. The other 34%, including a small ethnic group such as Pao, Inta, Lafu, Lisu, Taunyo, Danu, Paraun, Aka, Kachin, but anyway, you don't need to remember. Anyway, some people is concentrated on Shan state. So then I will speak about beyond the border. The people who speak the language who is close to Shan or Thai exists in neighbor countries as well. So I show the distribution of such a people. So this map shows distribution of people who speak Thai languages. That is a purple one. The purple one is including Thailand, Laos, and then Shan state as well. So I do not go into the linguistics. So I want to make it simple. So I do not go into the detail about the language family or language categorization. But anyway, this purple one can be called Thai languages. Southwest Western Thai in the map. So these Thai languages, including the Shan, but also including Lao or the Thai, and also the language of the Thais, Thais in Yunnan province. So historically, people who speak Thai languages, thereafter I call Thai people, came from China down to South Asia, establishing a small kingdoms in their respective places. But by the mid-20th centuries, Thai people were divided into several countries, namely Thailand, Laos, Burma, Myanmar, China, and Vietnam. And Thai people in Thai or Laos established their own nation state, while Thai people in Burma, China, and Vietnam became ethnic minorities. So the Thai people inside Burma nurtured their sense of identity, Shan. So Shan is Shan is an exonym of Thai in the language of ethnic Burma. If you put it simple, Burma people call Thai people Shan. Then the British Empire came. So the people who speak English use the term Shan. So in English, Thai people are also Thai people are called Shan as well, especially in the colonized Burma. So so in the English we call these people Shan. So in Burma, after the independence of 1948, nation building progressed based on the culture and the language of ethnic Burma. So Thai people in Burma who became an ethnic minority, Shan, have identified their own sense of oneness. So it's like that. We are Shans, so they don't have any, how can I say, oneness. But since they're integrated in the Burma and then become a situation that how can I express as ethnic minorities, they have own sense of the oneness. But on the other hand, Shan people, which means the Thai people in Burma, also have a sense of oneness with Thai people in neighboring countries. If you look at the picture, this picture is taken from the ethnic media of Shan people in Myanmar, in Burma. So they say that we are all Thais. So it's, how can I say, it's introducing the Thai people who is residing not in Burma, but in the various areas. And then we are the same, as they say. By the way, the language here is written in English on the top. And the second one is the Shan languages. And the third one is Thai languages or the Thailand. And the fourth, I'm sorry, I don't know. Anyway, this is the Thai people or Shan people. So in this presentation, I use the term Shan for showing the Thai people in Burma or Myanmar, while Thai for indicating broader category, which means the people including Thailand, people in the Lao, people in the Yunnan, we call such integrating such a people, I call Thai people. So I will show the relationship between the language between the Burmese, Shan, and Thai in Thailand. So this is the Burmese. As you can see, you can read, I think. This is a restaurant board, signboard. And then it says that Xi Xiang Feng, 他们应告诉在 it says chief with whom is the name of the restaurant, and it's a rice and a noodle shop, something like that. And I want to remember that the Burmese is like a form like a circle. And then the Thai language is like that. I take in the Chiang Mai. Anyway, it's like that. So how is the, what is like a Shan language? This is the Shan language I take in the this picture in Thailand. And if you look at only the letters, alphabet, you can, if you cannot read, you cannot differentiate from Burmese and then Shan languages. So actually it's slightly different. The letter is slightly different, or some differences there, but this most of the letters the same. But writing system is different. And also, speaking language is completely different. I will show that. So this is a comparison with the three languages related to Shan. I mean Burmese, Shan, and Thai. And Jivan Lama, do you eat already? In three languages, I show like this. The Burmese, Taminsa Bibira, Taminsa Bibira. The Shan, Kinkao Yao Ha, Kinkao Yao Ha. As you can see, this is completely different. As you can see, as you can hear, this is completely different. But the letter is very similar. And the Shan and the Thai, the spoken is the same. Kinkao Yao Ha, Kinkao Yao Ha, it is Shan, Kinkao Yao Ha. In Thai, Kinkao Luyang, Kinkao Lao Luyang, Kinkao Lao Luyang, Kinkao Lao Luyang. So that's similar. So you can see that their Chang and the Thai is belong to the Thai languages. So it's similar. But the writing system is close to Burmese. Shan's writing system is close to Burmese. That is the situation of the Shan people who is residing in the Burma. So you can know that how the situation of the Shan people is present. So then, how the Shan people or Thai speaking people in Burma or Myanmar become ethnic minorities? So this is like that. At the time of the independence, 1948 of Burma, there is 33 Shan kingdoms, which maintains autonomy during British rule. And just before independence, these kings agreed to join newly established state of Burma on conditions that they have collective autonomy in Shan state. And the Burma politicians who led independence of Burma admit the autonomy. They also admitted the right of secession to Shan state. It means that it is an appeasing measure for Shan kings to join the newly independent Burma. So it's like that, oh, I will give you the right of the secession, right of the leave from the country. So 10 years, please try 10 years. And if you try 10 years, well, this will be fine. This is the appeasing measure. So this appeasing measure is written down in the Constitution of 1948. So we look at the Constitution here. So it said every state, of course, it's including the Shan state, have the right to secede from the Union of Burma. And also it is written like that. The right of secession shall not be exercised within 10 years from the date on which this constitution comes into operation. It means that people of Shan State claim to secede after 10 years from the independence. This makes the trouble, this makes the armed conflict. Anyway, the summary of this section. So Shan people was integrated into Union of Burma when Burma achieved independence in 1948. Thus, Shan become an ethnic minority in the country in which Burma is majority. They have the right to secede after 10 years of independence. So this is the situation. So the third one, why some people rebel against the central government? And the answer is, it is because Shan's autonomy was not achieved. Hatred against ethnic Burma grew in the 1950s, but the right of secession was denied. This is the situation. So what actually happened? This is the process. In 1949, just after the independence of Burma, military forces of the Kuomintang, abbreviated KMT, escaped from Yunnan to Burma. They occupied some area of the Shan state, engaging in anti-communism military activities against mainland China. They recruited rural people and tried them to be soldiers, and they also engaged in opium trade for gaining economic benefit. So the National Army of Burma don't want that. They want them to be out of the country. So they engaged in the military operations against the KMT. So the military campaign is carried out in Shan state. So this military campaign nurtures the Shan people's anti-Burma feelings. One was the researcher called Bartel Linton like that, like that. The years up to 1955 saw the great influx of Burmese troops into Shan state. Before long, there are the friction between the local population and the soldiers. In the eyes of the Shan farmers, the government troops were just like as alien as the KMT. So the people is feeling of fear against the Burma people. So the Shan ethnic nationalism took shape among Shan elites, especially among university students who study in big cities such as Rangoon or Mandalay. And the local Shan farmers in Shan state also sympathized with the ideas. However, non-violent political movement for seceding Shan state was suppressed. Then attempt to achieve independence by armed uprising began. So the first Shan armed group uprose in 1958. In that year, in 1958, the first rebellion by Shan, Nusukhan, is led by Soyanda rose up. They settled their base around Thai-Myanmar borderland, and some people who want to be combatant gathered there. Then it's like that. They spread the rumors that if you want to be a soldier, come to here. There's a rumor of that. And then hearing the rumor, the people is coming to the borderland. So the number of the volunteer soldiers increased. But in the early 1960s, around the 61 to 64, Nubsukhan split it into several groups. Among such groups, there is a group called the Shan United Revolutionary Army, SURA, it is abbreviated to the SURA, and the leader of the group was Konjun, that guy on the right side, and the Soyanda was also joined in the SURA as one of the leaders. So the SURA established their headquarters in Piang Luang, which I showed in the picture at the first of the presentation. So the SURA established their headquarters in Piang Luang, which is a border town between the Burma and Thailand. So this presentation afterwards argued like that. The SURA accelerated the migration of Shan people to Thailand and urged traders into cross-border tradings. Furthermore, the town of Piang Luang became the hub of Shan cultural movement. Even after the dissolution of the SURA, its influence can still be observed today. This is the part I want to say in the later part of the presentation. So this is the background information, and then from the next part, there's ethnographic information is included. Thank you for letting a long time. So anyway, the next one is Piang Luang as headquarters of SURA. So I will explain how the Piang Luang become a headquarters, what is the Piang Luang like before the SURA is coming, or Chang armed group is coming, and how they became a headquarters, and what kind of the activities there. So the Piang Luang located northern Thailand, but borderline. And then if you look at the Google map, and if you want to go to Piang Luang from the city of Chiang Mai, which is the biggest town in northern Thailand, it takes about 3:30 hours, actually. Then, but this is the current situation. And I will show the next slide. So here's the Chiang Mai, and here's the Piang Luang, and this is the border, and then Myanmar is on that side, and Thailand is that side. So if you go to Piang Luang from Chiang Mai, you go this way up to here, and from this it's difficult to see, but there's a road go to Piang Luang. But this road is established around the 80s. So I'm not sure the quite exact age, but in the 80s. And then from here, Piang Luang to the highway, it takes 2 days to walk. And if you, the people of the Piang Luang want to go to Chiang Mai, you have to walk 2 days, and you go reach into the highway. In the highway, there's a bus, and then they had to catch the bus. Such is the situation. So until the 80s, Piang Luang is a quite remote areas. If you look at from the inland of Thailand, so you can imagine that influence of the Thai government will be coming late. So then I enlarged the map of Piang Luang. So this is Piang Luang. So you can see the 5 kilometers is how long the 5 kilometers is. And I will enlarge more. So I will enlarge this part. So you can see the town here. This is a Piang Luang town. You can see the how can I say? You can measure how long the 600 meter is in here. Then, if you look at the time of the SURA is have active, the town is divided in some parts. In the area where the close to Myanmar borders, there is a SURA headquarters exists, and also Kuomintang, KMT is also settled there. So there's a Chinese community as well. And also there's the current town center is here, and then that is a place where the market is held. So this is the current situation. So of course there's a no SURA headquarters already. The core KMT no exist there. It's just a Chinese community, and where the people speaking a Putonghua are there. Anyway, I will say about how the origin of the Piang Luang. It is based on the another researches. So origin of Piang Luang is like that. Numsuk Han, the first armed group of Shan, established several military bases around the 1960s. One of them was in Piang Luang. The headquarters located in Pantong in Chiang Mai province, which is a different part, but still exists in the northern Thailand. And before Numsuk Han established one of military bases, Piang Luang is a community of only 10 households, which engage in long-distance trade between Thailand and Shan state. And then the population increased due to the inflow of volunteered combatants and their families, and also displaced people escaped from Shan state to Piang Luang as well. The SURA, one of the split group from Numsuk Han, chose Piang Luang as their headquarters. So then Piang Luang prospered. It is because this town worked as a hub of Shan politics, and Piang Luang also have social and economic laws. Post the SURA, Piang Luang was convenient for the three reasons. First, sending troops to Shan State. So from the Thailand side, they send the people to Shan State. And second one, it's easy to communicating with Shan villagers in Shan State. And third is collecting tax from the traders. This is so the Piang Luang is convenient for these purposes. So in Shan State, liaison officers of the SURA, sorry, I mistake for the abbreviation. SURA lives in villages and towns of the for taxing people, asking aid from people, and recruiting new combatants. They sometimes stayed in villages and towns in Shan State, and sometimes went back to their headquarters in the borderland. One of the ex-combatants who joined the SURA in the 1960s told me how he became a combatant. He's old guy already. So he said, when I was a child, I lived in the village of Shan State. I saw with Shan soldiers at first time when I was teens. One day, my father, who worked as a village leader, gave soldiers right hand 2 or 3 shots. After that, my father was arrested by the government on suspicion of cooperating rebel. At that time, I decided to join the revolution, well, it means the armed group. I asked Uncle Pai. He was a trader who had a car. He also worked as a liaison officer for the SURA. He said, if interested in joining the SURA, you should come to so place in the village at 6 o'clock. Then we, the 9 people, came to him. We called these people with people like an armed group, Contuan. It means a person of the hidden activities. Since then, we also become a Contuan. Thus, a member of the SURA traveled in and out of Shan State without the government notice. So Piang Luang is also work as a trade center. Most important products which were brought from Burma were jade and cows. According to the statistics of the Thai government in 1993, 80,000 of cows were brought to inland of the country from the border of the Piang Luang. So in Piang Luang, a market for cows was opened periodically, and the SURA gathered tax from traders. So from Thailand, traders brought daily goods and food products to Shan State. The SURA collected taxes at checkpoint on trade routes. So it means that in the headquarters, the Piang Luang, they also collect the taxes. And then there's a route arrive to Piang Luang as well. Then along the route, there's some checkpoint, and then they collect the taxes there. One of ex-combatants who joined the SURA in 1969 told me how he worked for collecting the tax. So he said, I collected tax in Riverside, working at several shores, including so place. People crossed rivers, various goods came and went. Some people used horses. We collected taxes from them. Some brought the soybeans and peanuts to Thailand. Others came from Thailand. At that time, we never saw Burmese soldiers. This is what he said. So along with such activities, the population of Piang Luang increased. At first, majority of Shan living in Piang Luang were Shan combatants and its families. And around the Piang Luang, including the side of the Burma, the SURA established various facilities, including a military training center, hospital, printing facility, radio station, and schools. At the same time, the town of Piang Luang was divided into 3 zones, which is the SURA headquarters, and Chinese community, and the market zones. So one of the residents, woman born in 1930s, who passed already, and then she explained how she came to Piang Luang and how to spend her life in Piang Luang. She said, I married with the Shan soldiers, but I stayed in my village in Laika district, which is the government area of Shan State. So my husband sometimes came back to my village. I had 7 children. When my children became teens, I decided to move to Piang Luang. It is because we feared that my children might be conscripted by Burmese army. In Piang Luang, the SURA provided rice for families of soldiers, but some of my children became monks. They did not stay in my house. The amount of rice is too much for us, So I made rice noodles and sold it in the towns. This is what the old lady said. So when the SURA established the headquarters, the Thai government have huge influence on Piang Luang. Then their influence increased. Like in 1974, Thai government ordered the SURA to move all their facilities to Burma side. Families of soldiers were allowed to stay in Thailand, and the Thai army began to stay in Piang Luang for watching the SURA and the KMT. But the combatants could enter to Piang Luang carrying weapons and wearing military uniform. But in 1985, it changed. Combatants were prohibited to carry weapons to Thai side. But the cadres of the SURA, including Mohang, were allowed to keep their house in Piang Luang. Thus, influence of Thai government increased more and more. One of the villagers in her 40s at the time of the interview in 2019 explained me on Piang Luang in the late 80s, which is when she was in child. She said that at that time, we could cross the border on foot. I live in Burma side, in which there was a school of the SURA. I remember that I learned Shan and English there. Families who want their children to study in Thai school let their children go to government school in Thai side. After the SURA surrendered in 1996, all of us moved to Thai side. So as shown here, population increased in Piang Luang. Cross-border trades prospered in Piang Luang. The SURA behaved like a government. They provided social services in Piang Luang and promoted economic activities. On the other hand, influence of Thai government have been stronger. But this Shan armed group was disbanded in 1996. Then the border was closed in 2022. I will see what actually happened there. So the Piang Luang in post-SURA period. This is the last section. So in 1996, Shan armed group in Piang Luang was officially ceased to exist. So I don't use the name of the SURA because it's complicated. It is like that. In 1985, the SURA was integrated into another Shan armed group, becoming a part of larger armed group called Thai Army, MTA. But lives of Piang Luang was mostly untouched because almost all the activities were continued. Despite that, the SURA faction is marginalized in the MTA. So in 1996, the MTA surrendered to the government of Myanmar. They were disbanded. Burma side of the Piang Luang was occupied by Burmese soldiers. School of the SURA changed to government schools. Burmese soldiers also stationed there. So in Piang Luang, some combatants who wanted to continue their armed revolution or armed activities moved to other places, joining a new armed group. Others gave up their soldiers' lives, continuing to stay in Piang Luang as normal villagers. So the one ex-combatant told me about his life during the period of the MTA. Kunsa, he is a leader of the MTA, did not like Kongjun. He's a leader of the SURA. He marginalized Kongjun. Actual power was in the hand of the Kunsa. So we, the soldiers of the Piang Luang, were left behind. I decided to do my own business. I opened a small store. I also began to calculate land surrounding my house. This land was allocated by the SURA for my family and me. Then I obtained Thai citizenship. At that time, you can get the citizenship paying a small amount of money to government officials. Thai officials came and registered my land officially. So I happened to be a large landholder. So he get the Thai citizenship. And also he registered his land and then he became a large landowner officially. Then, even after the surrender of the MTA, trade continued and inflow of immigration still can be seen. Although the MTA surrendered in 1996, trade continued. Thai government officially opened the border for trading purpose in 1998. On the side of the Myanmar, villagers kept live there. But the government soldiers stationed. School of the SURA was turned into the government schools, and the Burmese teachers were sent to schools. But few would like to learn in Burmese. Some teachers abandoned their duties, and some schools are abandoned. Some villagers who had lived in the side of the Burma said to me, it's an old man, and he was a taxi driver. He said, we moved there in the side of the Burma in 1988. At the time, we could not do any business in cities of Burma because of the political climate. It's an 88 movement. It's there. So in the whole of the country, whole of the Burma is in turmoil in 1988. And after I moved to this borderland, I worked as a taxi driver crossing the border. Traders who traded daily goods and daily food came and went across the border. Such people are more and more integrated into the Thai society. But some migrants continued to come to Piang Luang through the border. Population still include a woman in her 30s who lived in a village near Piang Luang for 23 years told me, I came to Thailand when I was 10 years old, which is around 2000. I cannot speak Burmese because I did not go to school in Burma. When I came here, majority of migrants are through the border of Piang Luang. I heard that this community, which is a village near Piang Luang, was originally village of Thai people, but Shan increased, and now most of the villages are Shan. My father and mother rent farmland from Thai villagers, but they already moved to other places. So as she explained, Shan who came from Myanmar settled in Piang Luang and its surroundings, even after the SURA disbanded. Except for the above-mentioned case, it is common that old Shan settlers who have land plots rented or sold a piece of land to newcomers from Myanmar. But the flow of migration stopped in 2002. So the border was closed because of armed clashes in 2002. The border was closed due to armed clash between Myanmar army and the New Shan armed groups. An ex-taxi driver who I mentioned above told me that Myanmar soldiers chased villagers away to Thailand. In 2002, soldiers entered two villages. I escaped with my wife by my car to Thailand. Some left their cars and escaped on foot. We heard the sound of gunfire around 4 a.m. and crossed the border around 8 a.m. My wife secretly bought a land in Thai side. Then we began to live there. So villagers in Burma side chased away to Thailand. Since then, the border closed permanently. Those who displaced began to live with children or relatives who already settled in the side of the Thailand. Others who do not have persons to rely on settle in the Kunjo refugee camp, which is newly established in 2002. So where is the Kunjo camp, which is close to borderland? Here, the Kunjo camp exists. So what the Kunjo camp is like? So I cited from the newspaper of Shan Herald Agency for News. It's a Shan ethnic media. This is the explanation of the article in 2023. It quote, the individuals who have been displaced were forced to flee their homes during the 2002 armed crashes. These civilians were accused by the Myanmar military for supporting the RCSS-SSA, which is a new Shan armed group. And as a result, many were arrested, tortured, and killed while their villages were burnt down. These atrocities led to the displacement of these people who had to seek a safe place to live. They escaped to Thailand and settled in Kunjo camps. The refugees had been living in displacement for 2 decades now, leading them to abandon the idea of returning to their home communities. So in the Burmese side, there's nothing. It's just a forest is spread now. There's no villages now. So, but this explanation of the article does not mention that some people already settled in Thai side. Those who settled in Kunjo camp were those who did not have relatives or children in Thai side. But the lives in the camp were very very inconvenient. So they want to move out. So actually what happens is that is like that. English teachers in Kuncho camp explained me that first, young people went out of the camp for walking. Typically, they worked as daily laborers in farmers nearby. Those who get enough money bought land plot near Piang Luang and built their own houses. They invited their parents in the Kuncho camp and lived together. Thus, the population in Kuncho camp decreased. And also the ex-leaders of the camp, Kunjo camp, who was an ex-commander of the SURA as well, also said as follows. Even today, refugees here also work in farmers nearby. Employers know that it is illegal. Police conduct surprise inspections a few times in a year, but police let employees know in advance. It means corruption. If the employers pay the money to the police will let him her know with a phone or message or line or whatever. At the same time, at the day of police raid, employers contacted employees informing that you should not come today. Thus, even after the MTA surrendered, the population of Piang Luang increased up to 2002. Even after 2002, the Shan migrants came Piang Luang through other border passes. Migrant society is maintained, but due to the time limitation, so I stopped my discussion here. So that's the conclusion. So nationalism, there's a nationalism between the two nations, which is Burma and then Thailand. So the Shan people have developed their own nationalisms, Shan nationalisms in their post-independence politics in Myanmar, Burma and Myanmar. Some of the Shan people formed armed groups engaging in armed struggle based on the Thai-Myanmar border. Since the SURA set the headquarters in Piang Luang, this town became a stronghold of Shan nationalism. The SURA also accelerated migration of Shan people from Shan state to Piang Luang. Even today, many Shan people live in Piang Luang, consisting of Shan immigrant community. Many of them do not have Thai nationalities or Thai citizenship. Their status is not. They do not have a status, but have to spend their lives in Piang Luang. This makes new issues, but I would like to report on the current situation of Piang Luang in another occasion in the future. So the problem of my research. So what I left behind is that my argument is limited to Shan people. So in the Piang Luang, there's a people, Chinese is there, Kuomintang people is there, and also the other ethnic minorities there, but I cannot understand in detail about the ethnic relations there. So, if you're thinking about today's analysis, I have to go deep into the 2 points. The first is that what is the relationship between SURA and the KMT? So the KMT also stationed in Piang Luang, and it worked as one of transit point for Chinese traders. As Chan noted, Piang Luang located on the trade route between the KMT Third Army headquarters, which is the Tamgop, and Shan State. So the KMT might settle in Piang Luang before the Shan rebels came. So what kind of relations they built in the past between the Shan rebels and the KMT should be researched. And the second is that how Shan traders and Chinese traders coexist. Not only armed groups, life of traders should be examined because Shan traders and Chinese traders would use the same routes. They passed through the zone of several armed groups in Shan state, so the social orders among such traders from various ethnic groups should be examined. So such a, how can I say, such a problematic point is left behind in my my presentation, but still I believe that I can understand the Shan politics and the Shan migrant in the specific part in the Thai borders. So this is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much. If you have some questions, please write them on the comment line, commenting spaces, and then I will try to respond that. So thank you very much for the listening, and I hope that somewhere, sometime somewhere I can see you then. Okay, then bye bye.